Hello guys, welcome back to the course. In this video, we are going to build AI meeting transcriber and summarizer system using DeepSeek. Okay, now let's get started. Firstly, you will need to install 4 Python packages. The first one is Gradio, the second one is Transformers, the third one is Librosa, and the fourth one is Request. So let's compile it. It will take few seconds, maybe 15 or 20 seconds. Okay, we have successfully installed Gradio, Librosa, Transformers, and Requests. Next, we are going to import several Python libraries. Firstly, we are going to import Gradio. We are going to use this library for building user interface. Next, we are going to import NumPy. We are going to use this library for performing numerical operations. Next, we are going to import Librosa. We are going to use this library for loading and processing audio files. Next, we are going to import Pipeline from Transformers. We are going to use this library for loading OpenAI Whisper model. Next, we are going to import Requests. We are going to use this library for calling external APIs. Then after that, we are going to import JSON. It stands for JavaScript Object Notations. We are going to use this library for encoding data for the API call. And lastly, we are going to import TextWrap. We are going to use this library for formatting the summary output. And let's compile the code. It will take few seconds, maybe 10 or 20 seconds. So just wait. And let's add another block of code. Okay, next we are going to get API key from OpenRouter. So just go to this website, openrouter.ai, and just sign up. You can log in using your Gmail account. And let's click on your profile picture and let's click keys. And you will be redirected to this page. As you guys can see, I have created 2 API keys for like 2 different projects. To create API key, just click create key. And you will need to copy and paste your API key. Make sure to treat this like a password. Do not share it to other people. And here is my API key. Well, actually, I shouldn't share this API key to you. But after creating this tutorial, I'm going to delete this API key. So you will not be able to use this key, alright? So make sure that you use your own API key. Do not use mine, alright? Because it will not work. So let's create a new variable. I'm going to name it OpenRouter API key. You can name it whatever you want. It is totally up to you. And let's copy and paste this and put it right here. In this case, we need this API key for authentications before requesting API call. And you might be wondering, why do we need API? Well, we want to access DeepSeek model, right? And to be able to access that AI model, we are going to use this API. Next, we are going to load OpenAI Whisper model, and we're going to get that model from Hugging Face library. If you remember, we're going to use OpenAI Whisper model for converting speech to text. So let's go to Hugging Face library and let's click models and let's scroll down and let's click automatic speech recognitions. And we are going to sort this by most downloads. Let's scroll down and we're going to use this model, OpenAI/Whisper Small. So let's click use this model. Let's click Transformers and we're going to copy and paste this line. And let's go back to Google Colab. And I'm going to rename this variable to ASR Pipeline. Next, we are going to create a functions to transcribe the audio file. Let's create a new function. I'm going to name it transcribe audio. And this function has one parameter, and that will be audio file. So this will be MP3 file that will be uploaded by the user. Okay, now we are going to load the audio and resample it to 16 kilohertz. Let's create two variables. I'm going to name it audio and SR. SR stands for sampling rate. And in this case, we are going to use Librosa library. So let's copy and paste that. .load. Make sure there is no space. And let's copy and paste audio file and put it inside the parentheses, because this is the recording of the meeting, right? And we are going to set the sampling rate to 16,000. Next, we are going to create a conditional statement to check if the audio is long, more than 30 seconds. If that's the case, then we are going to request for timestamps. If length audio, so we're going to calculate the length of the audio, is greater than 480,000, if that's the case, then we're going to do the transcriptions with timestamp. So let's create a new variable. I'm going to name it result. And to convert speeds to text, we're going to use ASR pipeline. So let's copy and paste that. And let's copy and paste the audio. And let's put it inside the parentheses. .s-type. And let's put np float 32 inside the parentheses. And we are going to set the return timestamps to true. Else, if the length of the audio is less than or equal to 480,000, then we are going to do the transcriptions without timestamps. So let's copy and paste this line, but we are going to remove return timestamps. Then after that, we are going to return the result. And let's put text inside the bracket. Okay, next we are going to create another functions to summarize the transcript using OpenRouter API and DeepSeek model. In this case, we're going to use DeepSeek, but if you want to use different AI model, maybe OpenAI or Claude or Gemini, it is totally up to you. Let's create a new functions. I'm going to name it summarize with OpenRouter. And this functions has one parameter, and that will be transcript. Okay, now we are going to write the prompt for the large language model to generate a structured meeting summary. So let's create a new variable. I'm going to name it prompt. Okay, let's write the prompt, guys. Make sure your prompt is clear and specific. Please summarize the following meeting transcript in a detailed yet concise format. And we are going to write another prompt. Highlight key decisions, action items, important discussions, and next steps. And we are going to attach the transcript right here. So let's copy and paste transcript and put it right here. Okay, now we are going to make a post request to the OpenRouter API. So let's go to this website. Let's type in DeepSeek because that's the AI model that we are going to use. And let's scroll down. We are going to use this model, DeepSeek version 3 free. And you will be redirected to this page. And let's click API. And let's scroll down. And let's click Python. Okay, now we are going to copy and paste this code. If you remember, we've already imported request and JSON, so we don't need to import this again. Just copy and paste this code, guys. Okay, we are going to modify this a little bit. If you remember, we stored the API key in this variable, OpenRouter API key. And it happens that the name of the variable is the same. So you don't need to change this. Next, for the HTTP referrer, we are going to add a random link. Here we go. And for the X title, I'm going to name it AI Meeting Summarizer. And lastly, for the content, we are going to replace this with from. So let's copy and paste this variable and put it down here. So the model is going to use this from. Okay, next, we are going to create a conditional statement to check if the response is successful, and it will extract and format the summary. If response dot status code equals 200, and let's create a new variable. I'm going to name it summary. Response.json. So we're going to utilize JavaScript object notations, and let's put choice inside the bracket, and let's put 0 inside the second bracket, and let's put message inside the third bracket, and let's put content inside the fourth bracket. So this will parse the model's reply. Then after that, we are going to wrap the text to max 100 characters per line, so it is more readable. Returned. We are going to utilize text wrap library, so let's copy and paste this. .fill, and let's put the summary inside the parentheses, and we are going to set the width to 100. Else, then we are going to display the error message. Returned failed to generate summary. API returned status. And let's copy and paste response.status code and put it right here, so it will display the error message. Okay, now we are going to handle the exceptions. Except exceptions as E. Returned an error occurred during summarizations. And let's display the error. Let's put E inside here. Okay guys, we are done with these functions. Okay, next we are going to combine these two functions together. So we're going to create a new functions that will transcribe and summarize the uploaded audio file. I'm going to name the functions transcribe and summarize. You can name it whatever you want, it is totally up to you. And this functions has one parameter, and that will be audio file. Okay, firstly, we are going to transcribe the uploaded audio. So let's create a new variable. I'm going to name it transcript. And to convert speech to text, we are going to use these functions, transcribe audio. So let's copy and paste that. And just remember guys, this functions has one parameter, and that is the audio file, right? So we're going to pass down this parameter. Let's copy and paste this and put it inside the parentheses. Then after that, we are going to summarize the transcript. So let's create another variable. I'm going to name it summary. And to summarize the meeting transcript, we are going to use these functions, summarize with open router. Let's copy and paste that and put it down here. And remember guys, this functions has one parameter, and that's transcript. So let's copy and paste this variable and put it inside the parentheses. Next, we are going to return both results. Return transcript and also the summary. Next, we are going to handle exception error. Except exceptions SE, and let's display the error message. We are going to convert the data type to string, and let's put E inside the parentheses. And let's add an empty string right here. Okay, we are done with these functions. Next, we are going to build user interface using Gradio. Let's get started. Let's create a new variable. I'm going to name it iFace. And to initialize Gradio interface, we are going to use gr.interface. Okay, firstly, we are going to set the functions. Let's copy and paste these functions, transcribe and summarize. So this is the functions that will be run when the file is uploaded. Next, we are going to add audio input so the user will be able to upload the MP3 file. Let's create a new variable. I'm going to name it inputs. And we are going to utilize gr audio. The type will be file path. And we are also going to add label. And the label will be the instructions for the user. Upload MP3 file. Next, we are going to add box to display the outputs. So let's create another variables. I'm going to name it outputs. Okay, firstly, we are going to create output text box for the meeting transcript. We are going to use gr text box. And for the label, it is going to be meeting transcript. Then after that, we are going to add another output text box for the meeting summary. gr text box, and let's add the label. In this case, the label will be AI generated summary. So this will be the meeting summary generated by DeepSeek. And let's add the title. Let's create a new variable. I'm going to name it title. In this case, the title will be AI meeting transcriber and summarizer. And let's add descriptions. So the description is going to be the instructions for the user. Upload a meeting recording. This tool will transcribe and summarize it using Whisper and DeepSeek. And lastly, we are going to launch the Gradio interface. So let's copy and paste this variable iFace dot launch. Okay, we are done. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye. Hello guys, welcome back to the course. In this video, we are going to be conducting testing on this AI meeting transcriber and summarizer system. The objective is to make sure the system has been fully functioning and all logics have been implemented correctly. Before compiling the code, there are two mistakes that we need to fix, so I really apologize for these mistakes. The first one is label. This is supposed to be lowercase, not uppercase. So make sure that you fix this. And the second one is the comma. We forgot to add comma here between title and description. So make sure that you add comma. And let's compile the code. It will take few seconds, maybe 20 or 30 seconds. So just wait guys. Hopefully it doesn't take too long. While waiting, we are going to generate a meeting transcript using ChatGPT. Create sample meeting transcript between 3 coworkers talking about machine learning model deployment. The duration is 45 seconds. Okay, now ChatGPT is going to generate a meeting transcript. Okay, here we go. Let's copy and paste this. And let's open this website, TTS Maker. And we are going to create an audio file. But before that, we will need to remove the name. Okay, here we go. For the language, make sure that you select English. And let's type in the CAPTCHA 5320. And let's click Convert to Speech. Okay, we have successfully converted text to speech. Now we have this audio file, a meeting recording.
All right, team, quick sync. We've got the fraud detection model ready. Are we set to deploy it to staging today?
Okay, now let's download this file. Let's click download. And let's go back to Google Colab. So we are going to upload the meeting recording here. And we are going to utilize this system not only to transcribe it, but also to summarize it using DeepSeek model. Okay, let's upload the audio file. Let's click this. And let's click open. Okay, now it is uploading the file. It will take few seconds. Let's click the play button.
Quick sync. We've got the fraud detection model ready. Are we set to deploy it to staging today? Yep, the container is built and tested. It's running fine locally and in the dev environment. Just waiting on...
Okay, now let's click submit. It will take few seconds, maybe 20 or 30 seconds. So just wait guys, hopefully it doesn't take too long. Well, it didn't take too long, it only took 30 seconds or even less than 30 seconds. Here is the meeting transcript. Alright team, quick sync. We've got the fraud detections model ready. Are we set to deploy it to staging today? Yep, the container is built and tested. It's running file locally and in the dev environment. Okay, that's exactly the same like what we have here, right? And let's scroll down and here is the generated summary. We have multiple sections like important discussions. We have model monitoring, deployment readiness. We have action items like final approval, ops teams notifications, dashboard monitoring. We have next steps, review matrix, follow-up meeting. Okay, very comprehensive summary guys. Okay, I think that's it. That's all you need to know. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye. Hello guys, welcome back to the course. In the 5th project, we are going to build voice command recognition system for smart home automations. Before building the system, I'm going to explain how it works. The process is consisted of 7 main steps. Okay, now let's get started with the first step. So the user will give command using his voice. The user will activate the microphone and give the command, for example, turn on the air conditioner or increase the temperature. The microphone will capture this voice input as raw audio to be processed later in the pipeline. Let's move on to the second step. The system will record the audio using GR audio component and it will be saved locally as MP3 file, and in this step the system will store the recorded voice for further processing by the transcriptions model. Let's move on to the third step. The user will click the execute button after recording their command. In this step, the system will trigger the handle audio functions, which takes the path of the saved audio file as an input. The system uses this to begin processing the voice file. Let's move on to the fourth step, transcribe audio to text. In this step, the system will use OpenAI Whisper model to transcribe the audio to text. And the system will return a string of text that represents the spoken command. So in this case, we are going to get the Whisper model from Hugging Face library. And we are going to utilize Transformers pipeline. And let's move on to the 5th step, process command. In this step, the system will parse the transcribed text using simple natural language parsing rules. In this step, the system will check the text against predefined logic to understand the user intent. For example, if the text contains turn on air conditioner, then the system is going to check if the air conditioner was initially off, then it is going to turn that on. Let's move on to the next step, update smart home state. In this step, the system is going to update the simulated smart home dashboard. The simulations track the status of virtual devices like temperature, lights, air conditioner, and heater. The system will also modify values in the dictionary based on the parsed command. And for your information, this is not connected to real smart devices. This is just a simulations. And let's move on to the last step, return actions and state. In this step, the system is going to display the result of the command in the text output box. For example, initially the temperature was 19 degrees Celsius. And you use microphone and say the command, increase the temperature to 20 degrees Celsius. So now the temperature displayed on the dashboard is 20 degrees Celsius. Okay guys, so that's how it works. I think that's it. That's all you need to know. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.
Hello guys, welcome back to the course. In this video, we are going to build voice command recognition system for smart home automations. Okay, now let's get started. Firstly, you will need to install 2 Python packages. The first one is Gradio. Let's compile it. And the second one is Transformers. Let's copy this and let's compile it. It will take few seconds, maybe 10 or 15 seconds. So just wait. Okay, we have successfully installed Gradio and Transformers. Next, we are going to import several Python libraries. Firstly, we are going to import Gradio. We are going to use this library for building user interface. Then we are also going to import pipeline from Transformers. We are going to use this library for accessing AI model from Hugging Face library. And let's compile the code. Let's add another block of code. Next, we are going to load OpenAI Whisper model from Hugging Face library. And we are going to use this model for converting speech to text. Let's open Hugging Face and let's click models. And let's scroll down and let's click automatic speech recognitions. And we are going to sort this by most downloads. Let's scroll down a little bit. And this is the model that we are going to use, OpenAI/Whisper Small. Let's click use this model and let's click Transformers. And we are going to copy and paste this line. And let's go back to Google Colab. Okay, next we are going to initialize a dictionary to simulate the smart home automations. I'm going to name the dictionary home state. You can name it whatever you want. It is totally up to you. And we are going to set the temperature to 18 degrees Celsius. And the lights are initially off. The air conditioner is also initially off. And lastly, the heater was also initially off. Okay, next, we are going to create a functions to process the voice command as text. I'm going to create a new functions. I'm going to name it process command. And this functions has one parameter, and that's command. Okay, now we are going to convert the command to lowercase for easier matching. Let's create a new variable. I'm going to name it command. You can name it whatever you want. It is totally up to you. Command.lower. So this line of code will convert it to lowercase. Next, we are going to create an empty string to store feedback for the user. I'm going to name the variable action result. And for now, it is going to be an empty string. Next, we are going to create a conditional statement to check if command is to turn on the lights. If turn on the light in command or lights on in command. So if the user says one of these commands, turn on the lights or lights on, then the system is going to turn on the light. So let's update the light state. Let's copy and paste this dictionary home state. And let's copy and paste lights and put it inside the bracket. And we are going to update the value. So initially it was off. Now it is on, right? Else if the command is to turn off the lights, or lights off, then we are going to update the value in this dictionary. So let's copy and paste this line, and we are going to replace on with off. By the way, we forgot to set the action results, so let's do it. Let's copy and paste this variable and put it down here. And we are going to set this to lights turn on. And we are going to do the same thing for the second one. We're going to set the action results to lights turn off. Next, we are going to check if the user wants to increase or decrease the temperature. Else if increase temperature in command, let's copy and paste this and put it down here. So if the user says increase temperature, then we're going to do it. We're going to increase it by 1 degree Celsius. So let's copy and paste the dictionary home state, and let's copy and paste temperature, and let's put it inside the bracket, and we are going to do increment. We're going to increase it by 1 degree plus equals 1. Okay, now let's set the action result. Let's copy and paste this variable. And let's type in temperature increase to, and let's copy and paste this line and put it inside here. And obviously the unit is Celsius, but if you want to use Fahrenheit, it is totally up to you. Next, we are going to check if the user wants to decrease the temperature. Else if decrease temperature in command, so if the user says decrease temperature, then we are going to decrease it by 1 degree. Minus equals 1. And let's set the action result. Let's copy and paste that line, but we are going to replace increase with decrease. By the way, this is supposed to be a single quotation mark, not a double quotations mark. So let's fix it. Okay, next we are going to check if the user wants to turn on or turn off the air conditioner. Else if turn on air conditioner in command, or air conditioner on. So if the user says one of these commands, then the system is going to turn on the air conditioner. And let's copy and paste AC and put it inside the bracket. And initially it was off. Now we are going to turn that on. And let's set the action result. Let's copy and paste this variable. AC turned on. Next, we are going to check if the user wants to turn off the air conditioner. Turn off air conditioner in comment, or air conditioner off. If the user says one of these comments, then we are going to turn that off. So let's copy and paste that line, and we are going to replace on with off. And we are also going to set the action results. Let's replace on with off. And lastly, we are going to check if the user wants to turn on or turn off the heater. Else if turn on heater in comment, or heater on in comment. So if the user says one of these comments, then the system is going to turn on the heater. Home state, and let's copy and paste heater and put it inside the bracket. And initially it was off. Now we are going to turn that on. And we are also going to set the action result. Let's copy and paste this variable and put it down here. Heater turned on. Next, we are going to check if the user wants to turn off the heater. So let's copy and paste this line, and we are going to replace turn on heater with turn off heater, and we are going to replace heater on with heater off. So if the user says one of these comments, then the system is going to turn off the heater. So let's copy and paste this line, and we are going to replace on with off. And let's copy and paste the action result. And the same thing, we're going to replace heater turn on with heater turn off. Else, we are going to set the action result to comment not recognized. So this is a situations when no matching comment is found. Next, this function is going to return the feedback and current smart home state. Firstly, we are going to display the message to the user. So let's copy and paste this variable action result and put it inside the parentheses. Next, we are going to display the current temperature. Let's copy and paste home state and put it inside here. And this is supposed to be a single quotations mark, not a double quotations mark. So make sure that you fix that. And the unit is Celsius, right? Next, we are going to display the current light status. So let's scroll up and let's copy and paste home state lights and put it down here. Then after that, we are going to display the current air conditioner status. So let's copy and paste this and put it right here. And lastly, we are going to display the current heater status. So let's copy and paste this, home state heater, and put it down here. Okay, we are done with these functions. Next, we are going to create another functions to handle audio input and process the command. I'm going to name the functions handle audio. You can name it whatever you want. It is totally up to you. And these functions has one parameter, and that's going to be audio. Okay, firstly, we are going to create a conditional statement to check if audio is passed as a dictionary, and we are also going to extract the file path. If is instant, let's put audio inside the parentheses, comma dictionary, and name and audio. If that's the case, then we are going to extract the file path. And let's put name inside the bracket. Then after that, we are going to transcribe the audio to text using OpenAI Whisper model. So let's create a new variable. I'm going to name it result. And we are going to use this variable pipe. Let's copy and paste that and put it down here. And let's put audio inside the parentheses because we want to convert this audio to text, right? Then after that, we are going to extract the transcribed text. So let's create another variable. I'm going to name it command. And let's copy and paste result. And let's put text inside this bracket. And lastly, we are going to process the text as a command. Returned. We are going to utilize these functions, process command. So let's call that functions. And remember guys, these functions has one parameter, and that's command, right? And in this case, the command is represented by this variable. So let's copy and paste that and put it inside the parentheses. Okay guys, we are done with these functions. Next, we are going to build user interface using Gradio. Okay, let's get started with gr.blocks. We are going to set the theme to gr.themes.soft as demo. Okay, now we are going to add a title for this app. We are going to utilize gr markdown. In this case, the title will be command voice recognitions system for smart home automations. In the smart home automations dashboard, we are going to have two rows. In the first row, we are going to add audio input and action results. Meanwhile, in the second row, we are going to display current state of the smart home. Okay, let's get started with gr.row. Make sure it is uppercase. Next, we are going to add the audio input component. Let's create a new variable. I'm going to name it audio input. We are going to utilize gr audio, and we are going to set the type to file path. And let's add a label. In this case, the label will be instructions for the user. Speak a command. Then after that, we are going to add output box to display the result of the command. Let's create a new variable. I'm going to name it action result. And we are going to use gr.textbox. And let's add a label. In this case, the label will be action result. Then after that, we are going to create a button to trigger command processing. I'm going to name the variable run button. You can name it whatever you want. It is totally up to you. And we are going to use gr.button. That's how you create button in Gradio. Execute voice command. I'm sorry guys, actually the run button is supposed to be right here. So let's fix the indent, and after that we are going to add another title for smart home automations dashboard, and we are going to use gr markdown. Okay, next we are going to create the second row. In the second row, we are going to display the current state of the smart home with gr.row. Okay, firstly, we are going to display the temperature. Let's create a new variable. I'm going to name it temperature display, and we are going to use gr text box, and let's add a label, and we are also going to display the value, and obviously in this case the value is the current temperature. So let's scroll up and let's copy and paste this, and let's put it inside the parentheses. Next, we are going to display the light status, whether it is on or off. Let's create a new variable. I'm going to name it lights display, and we are going to use gr text box again. Let's add a label, and let's set the value to home state light. So let's copy and paste this and put it inside the parentheses. Next, we are going to display the air conditioner status, whether it is on or off. So let's create another variable. I'm going to name it AC status. We are going to use gr text box again, and let's add a label, air conditioner, and let's add the value. Let's copy and paste this, home state AC, and put it inside the parentheses. And lastly, we are going to display the heater status, whether it is on or off. So let's create a new variable. I'm going to name it heater display. We are going to use gr text box, and let's add the label, and let's set the value. Let's copy and paste home state heater and put it inside the parentheses. Then after that, we are going to connect run button with the functions. So let's copy and paste this variable, dot click. Okay, now we are going to set the functions to handle audio functions. So let's copy and paste that and put it right here. So every single time the user click on this run button, it will trigger these functions. Next, we are going to set the inputs. And let's copy and paste audio input and put it inside this bracket. Then after that, we are going to set the outputs. We are going to have 5 outputs. The first one is action result. So let's copy and paste this variable and put it inside the bracket. The second one is temperature display. So let's copy and paste this and put it inside the bracket. The third one is lights display. So let's copy and paste this and put it inside the bracket. The fourth one is air conditioner status. Let's copy and paste that and put it inside the bracket. And heater display. Let's copy and paste that and put it inside the bracket. Well, to be consistent, I'm going to rename these variables from AC status to AC display. And lastly, we are going to launch the Gradio interface. So let's copy and paste demo dot launch. Okay, we are done. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.
Hello guys, welcome back to the course. In this video, we are going to be conducting testing on this voice command recognition system. The objective is to make sure the system has been fully functioning and all logics have been implemented correctly. But before compiling the code, there are 2 mistakes that we need to fix. So I'm really sorry for these mistakes, guys. The first one is this line. I forget to add in comment And the second one is this line. It was the same mistake, we forget to add in comment. Okay, so make sure that you fix these mistakes and let's compile the code. It will take few seconds, maybe 10 or 20 seconds. So just wait guys, hopefully it doesn't take too long. Okay, now let's click on this link and you will be redirected to this page. Let's click on the microphone icon and I'm going to record my voice. And as you guys can see here, currently the temperature is 18 degrees Celsius, the lights is off, the air conditioner is off, and the heater is also off. Okay, now I'm going to turn on the air conditioner. So let's click record. And the system is asking permissions to access my microphone. So just click allow this time. Turn on air conditioner. And let's click the play button. Turn on air conditioner. And let's click execute voice command. As you guys can see, the dashboard has been updated, so the air conditioner is on. Okay, now we are going to increase the temperature to 19 degrees Celsius. Okay, let's do it. Let's click record and let's click allow this time. Increase temperature. And let's click the play button. Increase temperature. And let's click execute voice command. Well, the temperature was initially 18 degrees Celsius and now it is 19 degrees Celsius. Okay, very cool. So the system is working very well. I think that's it. That's all you need to know. Even though this was just a simulation, it gave you a clear understanding of how voice commands can interact with a smart home dashboard. In real IoT setups, this system would be connected to physical devices such as smart lights, thermostats, air conditioners, and heaters through platforms like MQTT, Home Assistants, or cloud-based APIs. Voice input will typically be processed using on-device or cloud-based ASR models. For your information, ASR stands for Automatic Speech Recognitions, and it is going to interpret comments routed through a control logic layer. This layer may be built using edge computing platforms like Raspberry Pi or NVIDIA Jetson, and would interface with microcontrollers, for example Arduino or ESP32, via wireless protocols such as Zigbee, Z-Wave, or a Wi-Fi. Okay, let me show you what the device looks like. So this is Raspberry Pi. You can find this easily on online marketplace, and there is another alternative, ESP32. Look at this. Okay, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye. Hello guys, welcome back to the course. In this video, I'm going to summarize all things that we've learned in this course, and I'm also going to share a few tips and tricks on how to improve the quality of your voice-based AI apps. Firstly, I'm going to let you know that this video is actually going to be the last video in this course. So massive congratulations for completing the course. Congratulations for getting this far. I'm so proud of you, and you should be proud of yourself too, because there are lots of people who have the same goal as you, but they are not willing to take actions, and that's the reason why they are not getting anywhere. But when you are taking action, you are already getting a step closer to your goal. You are already getting a step ahead from all your competitors. So once again, congratulations for taking actions. Okay, now let's get started with the first topic, audio quality. High quality audio input is key to getting accurate results in voice-based AI projects. So it is very important to use clear recordings from good microphones in quiet environments. Before feeding audio into models, you need to apply pre-processing steps like noise reduction, silent streaming, resampling, usually to 16 kHz, and volume normalizations. These steps will ensure cleaner input and help improve the accuracy of transcriptions, speech synthesis, or translations. Well, you might be wondering, what if your microphone is not that good, or maybe your device is old? You have two options. The first option is to buy external microphone, and the second option is to use additional AI model to perform noise reductions. Okay, now let's move on to the second topic, language detections. Accurate language detection is essential when building multilingual voice applications to ensure the right model is used for transcriptions or translations. Training a machine learning model to detect the spoken language early in the pipeline is especially useful when working with diverse user input. This helps route the audio correctly and improves the overall accuracy and efficiency of your system. Adding this feature is going to be very useful. For example, if you are speaking Spanish, then the language detection model is going to detect that you are speaking Spanish, so the system is going to select the model for Spanish language. Okay, now let's move on to the third topic, segmenting long audio inputs. It is very important for you to segment long audio inputs into smaller parts because it helps to manage memory usage and increase processing efficiency, particularly in systems with limited resources. It allows for more manageable data chunks, improving the model's ability to handle each segment accurately. This practice also facilitates consistent applications of pre-processing tasks such as feature extractions and speech enhancement, which leads to better performance. Because in some cases, when the recording is very long, the AI model is going to be overwhelmed and it is going to significantly impact the quality in a negative way. So we want to avoid that, right? Okay, now let's move on to the next slide. Thank you so much for taking the course. It's been an honor and pleasure for me to be your instructor on Udemy. I wish you all the best. I wish you all nothing but the best in whatever goals that you might have. Maybe you want to be a software developer, or maybe you want to be an IoT engineer. I wish you all the best, guys. If you have free time, please consider to leave a review on my review section. It is going to help me a lot to improve the quality of my future course. Tell me what you like about the course. Tell me what you don't like about the course. And I really hope to see you again in my future course. And once again, I wish you all the best. Bye.